Hi there, wig lover. This is Heather from CysterWigs.com, and today I'm bringing you a review of a Raquel Welch wig. This one is called On the Town, and the color on the Town is Praline foil, also known as R13F25. So before I get too far ahead of myself, I'd love to tell you about this color because it's really dramatic and it's super pretty in these short cuts. Well, it's pretty in basically every cut, but I really like it in the shorter styles better. So you can see back here, this 13 that we have going on. A 13 is not quite a light brown. I mean, it's like super close. It's like edging on a light brown, except that it's got some beige in it. So to me, I view it as more of like a dark beige blonde, but I mean, it's splitting hairs. You could really say that it's like a light beige brown, but I think it's like a light or like a dark beige blonde. I mean, I guess it just depends, potato potato, but you get the gist. It's kind of neutral. That color is beige because it's got a little bit of violet in it, and by that I don't mean that it's, you know, purple, obviously. It doesn't have a red tone as a base, nor does it have a blue tone or a green tone as a base. Instead, it's kind of got a mishmash of all of the above, and that makes it neutral while still giving it a lot of very beautiful color depth with, you know, so it doesn't look muddy or murky. It just doesn't pull gold, doesn't pull red, and it doesn't pull ash. It's beige. The product weight on this is only 2.75 ounces, which is really nice considering that, you know, you're getting quite a bit for that. You're getting a dedicated monofilament part in addition to a hand-tied lace front. Speaking of dedicated monofilament part, this means that you can't really move the part at all. If you try, the wig won't look right. So just know that whenever you get a wig that's only got the monofilament part, it's not really meant to be moved around. It's meant to stay on the side where it's at. And in this case, like a lot of wigs, in fact, the majority of wigs that have monofilament parts, that part is on the left. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. It's very dense, so it's kind of hard to get at. I almost prefer it when they're not quite so dense, so that way you can showcase them a little bit more and you don't have to like hunt for it, but everybody likes everything a little bit differently, you know? So I will say that it's definitely longer on the right hand side away from the part. So it looks a little bit different than it does in the product pictures. In the product pictures it looks a lot choppier, which I thought this color would really showcase, but it's not really as choppy up here as it looked in the product picture, because this wig has very little permatease in it to kind of sustain the volume necessary up here. It just kind of lays there. But I still think it looks very pretty and elegant. It's just asymmetrical, and that's something that doesn't really come across in the product picture. It's much longer on this, the right hand side. It does feather a bit, which I think looks really pretty, especially in this color. I just think that that looks really, really pretty. Doesn't really do it much on this side though, just because it's got that part there. And the bang, which looks so prominent in the product picture, is kind of not so much. You know, so I guess what I'm saying is it looks a lot different than I thought it was going to look, but it actually looks a lot more elegant than I thought it was going to look out of the box. I thought that this was going to be, you know, sort of a salon fresh PC style, and I'm sure that if you put some product in it, you could probably get it to achieve that, but right out of the box, it's a lot sleeker, a lot more streamlined, and just very silky compared to what you get in the product picture. So that's definitely something that I wanted to point out. So I want to show you what this one looks like from all sides. So now I'm going to go ahead and take On the Town off so I can show you the cap construction. As I mentioned, this has a dedicated monofilament left-hand side part. It also has a hand-tied lace front. The permatease, by the way, lives kind of like in this area, but it's very, very, very minimal. It exists, it obscures the wefts, but it doesn't really make it poofy. So if that's of concern, that won't be a problem with this particular style. We've got that really nice memory cap technology all throughout the back and sides of the wig, and we also have an extended felt nape that can be adjusted with these Velcro adjusters in the back. We also have very nice stretch here on the sides, which is pretty awesome, and felt on the ear tabs. It's really nice, soft and fuzzy, and should be very nice and comfortable. There's also felt lining the monofilament features, but not lining so much of the seam in between here, because that would cut into the realism. So let me show you again really close up what that monofilament part looks like, since it's kind of hard for me to find it when the thing's on my head, just because it's so densely threaded. There it is up close. So you can see that's really dense to the point where it's like almost hard to find. And here is the back. Very, very nicely layered and tapered back here. Most of the action and the intrigue occurs up at the top of the wig. It's very nicely layered back here. And then up here near the front, it's definitely asymmetrically cut and it's longer on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on for you now. This one is quite stretchy, though it does fit kind of true to average. You could get this one to stretch out a little bit more if you just wear it a little bit, but it definitely is going to take a little bit of time on your head for that to happen if you're anything other than a true average cap size. So there you have it. This easy little elegant wig, and surprisingly asymmetrical, has been the On the Town by Raquel Welch in the color R13F25, also known as Praline Foil, which is a beautiful color in these short wigs. So until next time, this has been Heather from CysterWigs.com. Be sure to check out my wig store if you get a chance. It's just www.cysterwigs.com. And in case you haven't heard me explain this before, the reason why we call it CysterWigs is because I cater to the polycystic ovary syndrome community. I have the disorder as well as a couple different other endocrinological problems. And so, it's just one of the big things that causes hair loss, among other things, and there are lots of other reasons. So whether you got hair loss or you're just wearing wigs for fun or whatever, hit me up, send me an email, and until next time, have a great night. Bye-bye.